Okay, joining us now on the line, we have Aylin Kocaman, who's a presenter and journalist based in Turkey and specializes on matters in the Middle East. Aylin, thank you so much for your time. Much appreciated. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
The whole decision now by Turkey and the US to join hands and to try and achieve what they are calling this no-fly zone in Syria has been met by surprise, a lot of skepticism, even a bit of criticism. What do you think motivated this decision from the Turkish perspective? There are those who say that Erdogan came in for a lot of pressure after the recent ISIS attack that led to the deaths of 32 people in Turkey. Others saying he's looking at an opportunity to have a go at the Kurds and perhaps to do better in elections, if there are to be elections later this year, if he cannot manage to, or his party cannot manage to form a parliament. What are your thoughts?
In fact, Turkey has a demand, as you may already know, has a demand of a secure zone on its border, and in order to, and on our border, the PYD is a great threat for us because PKK in Turkey is a great threat for us. Right now, it's getting bigger, and their threat is getting bigger and bigger. And in order to cope with all these threats, Turkey needs to take an action. I don't think it's directly focusing on the ISIS or the Syrian forces out there, but Turkey needs to protect its border. And Turkey made some attacks to the ISIS targets on the border, and according to the PM, Turkey did not make any cross-border operation, and there was a cabinet decision one night before the attack, and according to the decisions, there will be no attack to the Syrian land whatsoever. The airstrikes were within our airspace, and our fighter jets did not and will not go into Syrian airspace. So Turkey do not go into the Syria right now. But for hitting the PKK targets, maybe this decision has to be made because PKK is getting a bigger threat in Turkey. And the Turkish jets were hit the PKK targets in the northern Iraq as well. The secure zone and the precaution against PKK were the real reason for this decision, I guess.
So what you're saying, Aylin, if I understand you correctly, that Turkey's participation here is not really about ISIS, it's about suppressing the PKK.
I think so, because the great threat is PKK for Turkey. They are on our streets right now. Maybe you are watching on the news. They are right now. They are now in Istanbul streets. They are terrorizing our streets right now. They have been terrorizing our streets for 40 years. This has been always the greatest scourge for Turkey. We need to fight against PKK, and we always warn the government that the communist terror will not stop with negotiations or something. We need to do something to show our deterrent force against them. But in order to protect the solution process, the government always make concessions to them. But it is time to stop this because they are established illegal state in the southeastern part of Turkey, and they are aiming at separating our country. They are serious right now, so we need to do something. Turkey needs to do something. I think that is the real reason. But of course, Incirlik base was opened. This is something Turkish people never want. We never want this because the US fighter jets are using this base right now, and they are helping the PYD in Syria, which is actually PKK. And they are using our base for this. This shouldn't have happened, but I don't know. It's the part of the agreement, and I hope it is only to protect secure zone, the buffer zone. But if it's for the more airstrikes in Syria, then there will be more innocents will be killed, and we never want such a result.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. That what's in this for the US? You've explained that Turkey is primarily focused on PKK because of the threats that Turkey perceives that the PKK rather poses. But what's in this deal for the US?
In fact, the U.S. is in a very weird situation right now. They, PKK is in their terrorist list. but they are separating PYD from it. In fact, PYD is nothing different than PKK. They are all the same, but they are defending PYD in Syria. They are always giving them weapons, and they are protecting them. They are open area for them with their airstrikes. It is very risky for Turkey because we are having PKK in our border right now. We do not want them in our border or in our country whatsoever. But America is helping them. They are not realizing that this is a communist terrorist organization, and America has been fighting with communism for years. They fought with communism in Korea, Vietnam. They made Cold War for this, and right now they are. There is a Marxist ally in Syria for them. This is quite unexpected thing. I don't think they are doing it knowingly or unknowingly, but this is quite risky for America, for the Middle East. They cannot realize this. If there will be a communist state under the rule of PKK in the Middle East, it will not be a scourge not only for the Middle East only, but it will be a great scourge for the America as well, because it will get all the support from all the communist organizations and all the communist countries in the world. But they cannot realize this, unfortunately.
Now, just for the benefit of our listeners, the issue of Kurdish separatists, of PKK, comes into the media limelight every now and again. Can you give us a bit of the history here? What's the history of PKK, and what has their historical issue been with Turkey?
Yes, of course. PKK terrorist organization is a communist terrorist organization. They arose in 1970s, in 1978, I guess, and they were Marxist. They have an ambition to destroy all kind of bourgeois countries, let's say. This includes Turkey, America, Israel, and other countries in the world. But they want to establish a communist state in the Middle East, and they want to spread the Caucasia, Europe, and then America after that. And their target aim is to establish a communist world state. And they want to separate 4 major countries in the world: Turkey, Iraq, Iran, and Syria, because the majority of the Kurds are living out there, and they want to use Kurdish people for this aim, and they are oppressing the Kurds for years. They are always targeting the Kurds for years, and they have been terrorizing especially the southeastern Turkey for 40 years. We have been living with terror for 40 years. They are oppressing our Kurdish people. They killed our 40,000 soldiers, and they executed their own people, 18,000 people of their own people so far. So this is a communist organization. But then they changed their attitude in order to, because they are losing the supporters, in order to be stronger in the Middle East and stronger in Turkey. They think that they will get the support of America, and they wear a mask, and they act like an imperialist forces, which are the great supporters of America. So America thinks that if they establish a state in the Middle East, then there will be a great ally for them, and they can use these forces for as they wish. They can establish some military bases on this land. So there will be a very easy ally on this, on the Middle East. They are thinking like that. But in fact, they are still communists. They are just wearing a mask. They are just playing with the imperialist countries. So this is some kind of a play for them. But America cannot realize this, and they want to divide. America's plan is to divide 4 countries. Don't get me wrong, I'm talking about the deep America here, because I love America in general, and I love American people. But there's a deep America which controls everything, including Obama. This is a deep state in America, and this is their plan, to divide 4 major countries in the Middle East and establish a Kurdish state, but under the rule of PKK. Yes.
Now, coming back to this deal between the U.S. and Turkey about creating the so-called no-fly zone in Syria, there are those who say it could backfire. It could result in retaliatory attacks on Turkish soil. It could result in the conflict within Syrian borders and Iraqi borders spilling over into neighboring Middle Eastern countries. Your thoughts on that?
Actually, it will be good for Turkey, but the terrorist groups need to be eradicated from this part of secure zone. This should include PYD. America's plan is to help PYD over there, but it should not be happened because it's too risky. There will be no terrorist organization out there. The plan is to settle the moderate opposition groups to there, and also the refugees. You know, there are so many refugees. We have 2 million refugees in our country, and we are glad, we are honored to host them. But some of the people in Syria want to stay on their land and do not want to leave Syria, and that's for their protection also. They will be settled out there, and their protection will be controlled by the Turkish and US jets. So this will be good for the Syrian people and also for Turkish border for our security, I guess.
I read an article last night, Aylin, and the author there seems to suggest that this is not so much about the Kurds, nor is it about ISIS. It's about Turkey wanting to preserve the tomb of Suleiman Shah in Syria, whose grandson founded the Ottoman Empire. And because ISIS fighters have been threatening to desecrate the mausoleum, the tomb, to take control of it, that the Turkey is now getting involved in the Syrian situation, contrary to expectations.
I don't think so, because Suleiman Shah has been, lately moved to the Turkish border, and now it's under the control of the PYD, but it's also controlled by the Turkish soldiers right now. So I don't think it's not an issue.
Do you think there will be further collaboration between Turkey and the U.S. Subsequent to this particular deal, to this particular arrangement going forward on the Syrian issue and other issues in the Middle East?
Actually, Turkey shouldn't be in the war in Syria. If there will be a plan to go to the Syria, it should be finished as soon as possible, because we are a Muslim country, and so many innocent people are being killed with airstrikes in Syria, and we cannot be a part of it. We can fight with the PKK because they are creating riots in our streets and they are applying terror on our streets. But there is no reason for us to kill the people in Syria. This is haram. First of all, we cannot fight with the Muslims. We cannot fight with the ones who do not fight with us. It is haram for Turkey. So if there's a plan to go into Syria, that will be a very big mistake for Turkey. We should close down the Incirlik base as soon as possible. And America should realize that, the deep America has always a plan to use the Kurdish soldiers and Turkish soldiers on the ground in Syria, because it's quite expensive for them to use their soldiers, and also they know that they will not win a battle against ISIS whatsoever. So they want to use Turkish soldiers, and this is cheaper for them. But we cannot be that tool for this play, for this game. We should be careful here.
How are things in Turkey at the moment? We know that Erdogan's party did not do well in the parliamentary elections. They lost their majority. They're struggling to form a coalition. Many are suggesting they possibly could be the need to have another election, and that Erdogan perhaps underestimated the sentiment against him going into the election. How are things playing out at the moment in Turkey on this front?
Another election will be a huge mistake, because the mentality in general did not change, so the results will not be different from that. So it's a waste of time and money. But it seems like there will be a coalition with the CHP party. We are hoping that there will be a coalition, because we need a very stable government right now. If there will be, of course, we wish to have a coalition with MHP party. This is a nationalist party in Turkey, and they are so active with fighting with the PKK, but they refuse to get involved with the coalition with the AKP. So it seems like there will be a coalition very soon with CHP. If there will be such a coalition, I think everything will be better in Turkey.
Okay, then thank you so much for your time this morning. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day. Go on.
Have a great day. Thank you.
That was Aylin Kocaman, a presenter and journalist in Istanbul.